Hey guys, new characters are out. We got some gameplay, not meta related, but interesting nonetheless. First of all, did you know Skirk isn't just a close range melee user? You might see all her swords, but actually her charge attack throws her twin blades in the air. Now for example, let's say you're fighting the Aeon Blight Drake. You know that guy flies in the air and exposes his core? Well actually, Skirk can break down his core and disable him. Look at that. That would mean Skirk joins the ranks of characters like Xiao, who can help you cheese the Aeon Blight Drake when you don't have like a bow character, for example. Luckily, I know from experience, Xiao destroying that is very RNG, whereas Skirk, it has nice AoE, looks very consistent. Perhaps you might find use for that in the future. Speaking of aerial combat, there's also the new Forcer character Dahlia, and his skill can actually be thrown in the air. And there's so many different layers to this. It's very interesting that this content creator discovered this. For example, you can stack Kazuha. Look at all the different characters you can utilize for the techniques. Look at all the experimentation you can do. And the layering is very interesting. For example, you might start off with Albedo's flower, but then you can put Dahlia's thing on Albedo's flower, and then you can re-put Albedo's flower on Dahlia's thing. Look at that elevation. Then you can stack Kazuha, you can use those wind bottles, and then you can use that extra gliding wind as well. It'd be very creative how you can stack all the good exploration characters and travel all over the place, especially as we're exiting Natlan and you really want to maintain that nice exploration with all the new regions. Back to Skirk for a second, because as it turns out, Skirk's new model is kind of in between the medium-sized girls and the tall girls. People have been telling me this is kind of similar to Seat Lali, but I don't know exactly. As you guys know, different size models have different running speeds. So as you can see here, Skirk's size model is pretty much in between Raiden's and Keqing's. If anyone has tested Seat Lali here, can let me know exactly. These are very cool though, and I like how they're experimenting with different models now. The game's been out forever at this point, so it's nice to see them experiment with like smaller size heads. Last thing we learned in the Create Experience server, and sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we do have confirmation here that the artifact loadouts are not exactly customizable. It is improved, but it's not perfect. For example, say the game recommends you this set here, so 4 on-piece sets and then 1 off-piece circlet. So you're not happy with that build, you want to switch to your Crimson Witch goblet, tweak it around. So this is your custom build. So you confirm that this is your build, but what happens when you go back in? What happens when you go back into your saved loadout? Well, as it turns out, it kind of only saves the previous one. It only saves the in-game recommendations. So that's a bit disappointing, obviously. It's not quite artifact loadouts. You know, technically there could be a hotfix on the release date. You never know. This is still the beta. Still, I wouldn't say this is completely useless, because the update does help some stuff. For example, say for example, I'm using my Garni's fast equipped artifacts. Let me reset everything. So the game is giving me a melt build, Wanderer's Troop, and this is the build it will generate. The thing is, maybe you don't play Garni and Melt anymore. You only want to play Garni and Freeze. Then this, whatever I generate here, technically you could save this. So you could save it so the game remembers you only care about Freeze Garni. But like I said, if you want to get a bit more spicy, if you want to switch out your different pieces, say for example I like this piece, yeah, just know that the game won't be able to save this specific loadout. So yeah, just a quick video for now. Thanks for watching, and hopefully very soon I should have some nice proper Abyss gameplay and some proper meta analysis.